Welcome, everyone, to the L7C podcast, Naruto What If Battle Edition. Today, we have a very special What If battle for you guys. Today, we are following from our Women's March Madness Year 2. If you listened all the way through, you heard us start talking about could our Elite 8 beat Kaguya? What team will we use to beat Kaguya? And we are here where we had to pick 4 people to fight or survive Kaguya for 1 hour due to our What If battle rules. We have our My Hero enthusiast with us, Andrea, with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are y'all?
Doing good. We have our guy, the Shadow Hashirama Niki, with us. How are you doing today, sir?
Man, it's a good day, just celebrating Easter. So happy Orthodox Easter to all our listeners who are Orthodox out there.
Sir, way to shout them out. Good shout out. So for the people listening who didn't listen all the way through to the Women's March Madness Year 2, which you should, by the way, we decided to make this fight Kaguya versus 4 ninja of our choosing. Sure, any Naruto fan would be like, oh, you would just pick like Sasuke, Naruto. We had some pretty strict criteria. Our first rule, there was no members from Team 7 allowed. No Naruto, no Sasuke, no Kakashi, no Sakura. Our second rule, there was no Madara or the first Hokage. The other rule was characters you saw who were alive in the series. So no Edo Tensei people, Kage's flashbacks don't count at all. You don't have to worry about the plot of the story. We're not trying to put her in the moon. We're either trying to kill her or survive the time limit. And you get 4 ninjas. So first off, Nikki, with those rules, how hard was it to make your team?
It was super hard because you take out the biggest hitters, and with the no Edo Tensei's, you can't bring back any of the dead big hitters. So you're just left with all of the people who were physically alive in that show at one point. And with Kaguya being the final villain, not a whole lot of people can stand up to that or put up a fight of any sort, honestly.
Let alone our rules, trying to survive 1 hour.
Yeah.
Andrea, how about you? With these rules and parameters, how hard was it for you to make your team?
It was extremely difficult because obviously when you told me about it, since I wasn't on that pod, you hadn't given me the rules yet. So I automatically started naming off people, and basically everybody I named was not eligible. I was like, oh damn. Okay, let's really use the brain here. How are we gonna do this? So it was difficult. It was very difficult.
But that is what we do. And before we get into our teams, for everyone listening, comment section, if you're listening on YouTube or Spotify, let us know what 4 people you would use to fight Kaguya. I am going to give the teams first of the people who weren't here, Cedric and Byron, and then we'll talk about the people who are here, what their teams are. We'll talk more in depth. So Byron, our captain, his team was Pain, Itachi, Tsunade, and Might Guy. How do you guys feel about Byron's team? He didn't give outside looking in people. We just gave those 4.
So you said it was Pain, Itachi, Guy, and Tsunade. 4 of the 5 people that I had.
Okay. Oh, cool. That means Nikki has a mystery.
Ooh. Yeah, one of them was an alternate, but his team is looking like mine, so
Okay.
I kind of dig it.
Andrea.
So he picked one of the people that I picked, and one of my alternates. I really considered this person for a particular reason. I felt like it kind of went along with the plot of the story of how the battle played out. But since we were kind of negating plot, I decided to leave this person out. But I mean, it's a strong team. Yeah, it has to be a strong team to, have a chance to survive or win. Mostly survive, sorry.
That is true. My problem, I do like this team too. And I actually like my guy on the team. But my problem is he going to get too overzealous and try and flame out in the first 15 minutes? Because he ain't doing nothing. And he won't do nothing. At least he goes 8. Because 7 wasn't enough to do anything to Madara. And Kaguya is far above Madara. That's my only concern with Guy.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I did put. He actually had 2. Excuse me. Correction, had 2 people. I chose Guy as well, but that was again. You guys know before we got on here that I kind of forgot the hour time kind of frame. So I was like, oh shit. As soon as you said that, I knew that was going to be a problem for Guy because, I mean, he has to go, balls to the wall. So my team is not going to be all that great at surviving. Maybe a couple people will survive, but we'll see what happens.
Guy he's one of my people, like on the outside looking in.
Mm-hmm.
So then we will go to Cedric's team really, really quick. He had the Titsukage. So that was one of them because he had Madara and I had to tell him Madara was out.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the Titsukage Onoki. So we got him, got experience. We got Itachi Uchiha. He seems like a very popular pick right now. We have Nagato Pain, a very popular pick. And then he has Obito as well. He has the 60-path Obito. Andrea, how do you feel about Cedric's team?
I like Cedric's team as well. I considered Onoki so hard again because I was very much thinking about, okay, if they get, into the lava dimension, we need people who can just straight up fly and make other people fly, float, whatever. So I really strongly considered him as well. But then I ended up going with somebody else, which in hindsight is weaker, but I thought they had a better overall potential defense as well. Okay. But I think it's this good team. I considered a lot of these characters as well. I think we all did because these are all top strength characters in the show.
I agree. Nikki, what did you think of Cedric's team?
I like Cedric's team, and my team, I like Cedric's team. I actually also, spoiler, I picked Obito as well. I'll get into it when I speak, but I'm liking Cedric's team.
Out of the people here, I actually did not pick Obito, just maybe because last time I saw him fight her, he died. So, but
that was like self-sacrifice situation. He was down for it. That's really bad to say.
But my problem was when he had like the Ten Tails thing, he lost to Naruto and Sasuke before they got the power up from the Sage of Six Paths. He lost before. I mean, Guy, now looking at it, 8 Gates Guy could have killed him. So it's like, that was my thing. Like the jump from his 6 paths to like Madara's is just wild. But now for the people who are here, we'll do our 4. We could do our 2 people who like you thought about outside looking in. We're going to have Nikki be last because Nikki's had his team for a month. So Andrew, do you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
You go ahead.
Okay. So I do have like small reasons for like each person as well that I wrote down. So 2 people outside looking in. Raikage was one of my people outside looking in. Obviously the durability, strength, speed, all of that. I wish I could have had his dad, since his dad fought 10,000 shinobi by himself for that super extended period of time. But he was one of the people on my outside looking in. My guy was as well. When you take out all the people we've taken out, he's one of the strongest people in the verse. So my number 1 pick was actually Tsunade, because we need to survive out here one way or another. And she is a healer, and she's probably the physically strongest person I have on my team. Number 2, who's been picked by every team so far, Itachi Uchiha. We have a Mangekyo Sharingan user. Even though since this is in the story, we have a very lacking Susanoo compared to what Sasuke and Kakashi had, but we can do things with him. I had Pain as well, visual prowess, the Rinnegan. My only fear was like Kaguya just saying, well, I'm just going to take your eyes and just like yank his eyes out of his head. Like that was my fear, because since she's like the originator of all this stuff. And my 4th person, who I thought long and hard about, who actually, if maybe need to have him on one of our battles, was Sage Mode Kabuto. He is my 4th person, because if you look at his stuff, this dude is actually stacked. He has all of Orochimaru, like he got the stuff from Orochimaru. He has access to all the Sao Ninja Force stuff, plus Mr. Bone Man. He has Sage mode. He can heal. He also has the abilities of all of Sasuke's old crew. So he has the water-like abilities and like make himself liquid. He has the Uzumaki type healing thing from Karen. He has He has the curse mark chakra from Jugo. And like when you just look at his stuff, man, he is actually pretty stacked and could do all those abilities. He's smart. He also has natural medical ninjutsu, so you have another healer. And to be honest, I mean, if it wasn't for Izanami, Sasuke would have been dead. So he was my surprise fourth pick. And because we needed someone with Sage mode, and he was one who has mastered Sage mode outside of Naruto and like the first Hokage. So that was my team.
Well, my team, I am, now that I'm looking at it, realizing all of the holes that I had considered, but then decided against for whatever reason. We're going to blame that on Grief Brain. But anyway, so my three that I had kind of outside looking in that I really considered having them on the team, and really, we already talked about Tsunade and Onoki. Tsunade is the one that I'm very much regretting at this moment. But oh well.
Oh, no. Did you take her off?
I did. And again, not for anybody that was stronger than her. It was again thinking, how the fuck are we gonna not burn up and die? Like we need somebody that can help everybody else. And so since Onoki wasn't on there either, I'll tell you who I picked instead of her, and it's really embarrassing. But anyway, my third person outside looking in, I actually thought Tamari would be really good in this fight. Since she is more of a long distance user, wind user. I don't know if she can float or fly, but I don't know why. Am I hallucinating, or do I remember her like floating on her fan or whatever at one point?
She can do that. I don't know how far, but like she can create the wind. And you know, we do respect Tamari on the L7C podcast.
Yes, we do. My bad on not making her the winner the last spot. Again, we're blaming Grief Brain on that one. So, and I knew it because like when I sent Martin the bracket, I was like, this is not right. I messed up, but yeah, anyway.
No, you're fine on that. It's just like now with the bracket, like when we were talking about it last month, just flip-flopping. We gotta watch now we have to watch our own self because we're already like on record.
Yeah, we locked ourselves into, unless we have a total like transformation in thinking, like we're gonna be picking the same people. So right. Yeah, that was my bad.
that was funny though. So Tamari outside looking in, I like that.
Yeah, so my number one pick was automatic when I talked to you. One of the only ones that, wasn't cut was Itachi. My second pick was Obito for the very specific reason of that he could kind of manipulate the space-time with his Kamui. However, this is where I knew I should have picked Nade because he needed that additional chakra from Sakura to kind of get it to work. So it's like, yikes, I kind of forgot about that in my thinking. But my third person was also Guy. Again, we've already discussed why that's maybe not the best pick, but who I kicked off the team instead of keeping Tsunade was Gaara, because he could make platforms for everybody if they get put into the lava, dimension. And Kaguya is not dumb enough to throw him into the sand dimension, because then he'd just be like wilding the whole time. But I felt like his defense would be better overall, and we wouldn't have to worry about people continuously falling or anything like that. So I picked Gaara instead of Tsunade, and yeah, looking back, I think I'd switch Tsunade with Guy just because he'd burn out very quickly. But my extra thinking with Gaara and Guy together is that since Guy needs to do, taijutsu, if they are having to be in that lava dimension and floating, Gaara could make all of those platforms. And he's fought somebody and seen, somebody who is a taijutsu specialist starts training down the line, somebody who's a taijutsu specialist. So he could make that happen if they do get thrown into, again, the lava dimension. So that was my team.
I would have said with Guy to have the Titsukage on there just because he can make Guy even faster. That'd be a nice little tag team, make him lighter and all that. But no, you had the sand. You were shouting out the sand village, not leaving them out. Nikki, you've had your team for a month. Who do you have?
Yeah, so my team, I have Obito on there because his Rinnegan are Pain's Rinnegan, who were Madara's Rinnegan. He's the overall person, but in between them, those are Obito's Rinnegan. And his 10 tails, realistically, outside of story and Naruto hitting him with that talk no jutsu, even Hashirama himself stated that Obito at 10 tails is stronger than him now.
He did.
But, some story and some plot. But he's got eyes. He's got Rinnegan, and he's got a fucking Mangekyou. And you know what we say about eyes.
If you can beat anyone in this show.
My second pick was Lady Tsunade. Taijutsu clearly works, as evidenced by Naruto socking her and Sakura socking her. That's what really seals that Taijutsu works.
And I feel like she'd be more like, I don't want to say smarter about it. Naruto really had to show Kaguya like a pool of naked dudes to be able to get that one. He did suck the shit out of her, but it took that pool of naked dudes. And then Sakura got lucky because her teacher was over here just warping shit and was able to get her up top because she wasn't looking up. She was just looking across. But no, you're right. She can get punched. You just got to find a way to get to her.
Yeah. Plus, I just think Tsunade is a better Sakura at this point.
Fair enough.
My third pick, which I'm now actually debating. I had Might Guy because, again, Taijutsu works, and he's clearly our best Taijutsu person
in the world.
But you're, God damn it, you're him using it for 5 minutes in the beginning, kind of.
Right. It's like, dang it.
Kind of throws
dang it.
But I don't know if that's enough because on my bench is Itachi.
On the bench?
Itachi's on the bench.
So you had Obito, Tsunade, Might Guy. Oh, you haven't set your fourth yet.
I haven't set my fourth.
But your fifth?
Yeah, my fifth is Itachi.
Okay.
My fourth, actually, shockingly, is on your team as well. And I went Snake Sage.
Yes, sir!
Oh my God!
Yes!
Because that's, you know how we feel about double healers. Even if you don't really beat their ass, they're going to outlast you because they have double healers. And like you said, he's got Sage Mode, which we need. He's got all of his abilities.
Immune to Genjutsu.
Yeah. And he's got reanimation jutsu. He can bring back all the homies. Because remember, he's the one that shows the Akatsuki to Obito. And then he's the one that shows Madara's corpse to Obito. And that's how he gets Obito to cooperate with him.
Yeah, because he is the first person on the show who actually deduced Toby's real identity. Like, he is that freaking smart. And his Edo Tensei is better than the seconds. And yeah, it's perfect. It's better than the seconds and better than Orochimaru. Because Orochimaru couldn't bring the people back to full power. Hence why they had to put that in, because it would have made no sense for the third Hokage to fight the first and second. He would have been smoked. But so he does it the best, but not like people. I think Kabuto just falls under the radar because he was in that brother fight, but it took Izanami to beat him. He's immune to Genjutsu and visual jutsu. It takes like a forbidden thing like that to beat him. And if he would have knew about Izanami, then he probably would have beat Sasuke and Itachi together. Yeah.
That's why I picked him, because he's a serious fighter. He was already a serious fighter before he absorbed Orochimaru and whatever he did to get that snake mode. But the fact that he brought back all of those people in the Shinobi World War gives us now numbers and some heavy hitters. Shoot, that's why I didn't pick Itachi, because he gets reanimated by Kabuto. That's why I left him as one of my picks, because technically that is Kabuto's jutsu, and he is the one that brings back all of those shinobi that fight in the war. Or else Obito was just going swinging with him and the 10, what's it called?
10,000. That's wild. He really thought he could have won. That's a whole other topic.
Zetsu, the 8, what's it called? No, he didn't even have them. The Jinchuriki, those were reanimated
7
by Kabuto.
Yeah, but he had like 7 captured in the ghetto statue. So he basically had like the ghetto statue, 10,000 white Zetsus, him, and I guess sidewise Taka. And he thought he was about to take out the whole planet.
Yeah,
with that.
So, without Kabuto pulling up, that war and all that stuff doesn't happen. So that's why I made him my 4th pick and sleeper pick, because that reanimation jutsu is something.
Do you think Kaguya could get caught in a genjutsu? Because he can do Toyo's like flute one. Well, he can do all their abilities, which is crazy.
I don't know if she could get caught because she's got the original Byakugan and the Rinne Sharingan.
That is
I was going to say, I didn't think she could. That's also why, I mean, obviously I picked Itachi, but I wasn't trying to pick people based off eyes. That's also why I kind of left Pain off, because she has her own Rinnegan. I was like, I mean, you're basically matching eyes at that point. I also considered throwing Neji on the team, again, for Taijutsu, and I was like, well, maybe he could like block her chakra points or something. It's like, no, she's got a Byakugan too. Honestly, she'll just flood her chakra channels, and then he's completely useless. So, yeah, I don't think she can really fall into genjutsus. My only thought was with Itachi, like using his Susanoo and using that
the Totsuka blade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought maybe that would work on her, but I doubt it. The only reason I really think it could is because Black Zetsu, which is her will, was the one to kind of make that comment that with, that blade and his mirror that he's invincible. So like it's her own, will and thoughts, essentially, sort of, kind of making that comment. So that's why I was like, I feel like I read something on the internet that somebody thought Itachi could solo her by himself.
Oh,
like,
hell no.
I don't ascribe to that. I do not ascribe to that.
No.
I was like, I mean, him making that comment that he's invincible. Okay, yeah, sure, but not. He definitely doesn't solo. I also saw another one where it was just Itachi and Kisame would be able to beat her by themselves. I was like, I don't know about that either. But yeah,
well, Go ahead.
I was going to say that really solidified Itachi's pick for me because again, I didn't mean to pick people based off of like visual prowess because she basically has them all. So I didn't really think that would give them the one up except for Itachi. And then I picked Obito again because like we saw him manipulate her space-time stuff using his own. But again, in retrospect, I need Tsunade to help him do that. So that's kind of a flaw in my plan.
I guess the problem with like Itachi and his Susanoo, one, he has to get to Kaguya.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's one thing. And then like 2, it's like when you get to her, what do you do? Like I only had him for like, dude, you just sit back and you just help plan. So that was the reason like why I had him, because it's hard, man. Because I also feel like that invincible line is more for like us watchers. Like that was the strongest thing we saw at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because literally the next arc, Pain's never lost a fight. Okay, well, and he's the strongest in the Akatsuki. Well, okay, well, obviously Itachi's not invincible. He's above him. And then it just keeps escalating. And
that's true.
So it's like one of those things like, to this point that you are watching, this is the strongest thing you have seen. And then he died like 5 seconds later.
Oh, right.
So that was, I mean, I get it. But Nikki, I do like your stuff now. I guess with like the people's teams, do you guys, are you guys trying to win or last?
I'm trying to last. For sure.
I'm going for the win. No.
With y'all's teams, you probably could. I basically wrote it off. I was like, winning is not going to happen.
Well, Nikki, how are you going to? Nikki, how's your team going to win?
Actually, we probably can't win because we technically have to seal her ass in the moon.
Well, if you don't have to do that, just a couple, make her bloodied up, make her bleed a couple times.
I mean, I feel like Kabuto is like, he's that key because he can bring back the Akatsuki. So you don't have to pick Pain or Itachi on your team because they get brought back Edo Tensei. No illnesses, no nothing. Nagato can spam his stuff now. Mm-hmm. That's a big boost. Then you bring in Kakuzu. He's got 4 hearts. You got Hedon. Could Hedon's ability work on her? He's not that strong.
You have to cut her first.
He just got to cut her, but if she's beefing with Madara, Datara, all these Akatsuki's, with all these reanimated people, that's a problem because Zabuza comes back too. Now we got the Demon Hunter in there because we have options now with Kabuto since he can reanimate people. I feel like with the Akatsuki and my team, they can beef with her.
I guess how are they going to dodge that like bullet, like that wooden bullet thingamajig? That's because that thing's fast. Like you get touched by that, you're two-pieced.
We just got to hope you can survive. as long as Obito can Kamui that shit away from Kabuto, well, even if Kabuto dies, that jutsu keeps going. The reanimated shinobi don't get stopped if Kabuto dies. He stated that himself. The jutsu needed to be broken or released. That's why Itachi put him in Izanami to get him to give him the hand signs to release Edo Tensei. So realistically, she can off my team and I can still have my reanimated people. Hopefully they can keep putting up a fight. Because, I mean, shoot, reanimated Madara, he ain't no slouch. He could go full body Susanoo with no eyes.
Do you think that we actually didn't even see, like, because of story and how they, like, had to get to the Naruto Sasuke at the end, we didn't even see Kaguya's full abilities?
Probably.
Yeah, no, we didn't. We definitely did not.
Because she, switched worlds multiple times.
Mm-hmm. Dimensions, yeah.
Yeah, dimensions, sorry. Shot some bone things out of her hand. And what else did she realistically do?
She blocked the chakra point.
Yeah.
She blocked the chakra points of that summoned bird that Sasuke used to not fall to his death.
Yes.
We never saw her throw any hands. Like that was the main reason why it was like, okay, if we can get somebody to throw hands with her, she can't physically fight, but she's the originator of all chakra, so therefore she has everything when it comes to ninjutsu. So,
well, she's the originator of chakra, but the Sage of Six Paths, he's the originator of jutsu.
That's true.
Like, I'm sure she has it, but she might not have all these abilities because she's not out here messing with fire and water.
That's
she's
true.
Out here messing with dimensions and bone structures.
Oh shit! I mean, that does. I would also say too, just thinking about it, what I think mine was more of the survival because depending on situation, she can absorb all the energy from people in the God tree.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, yeah.
Because she obviously, I mean, that's her tree. She planted it. Well, it's her.
The Otsukis planted it. It's their tree.
Yeah, their tree, the space aliens. So it's like, that's why I only thought about. I was like, man, I'm just trying to get out the 60 minutes so we can call it a day and get up out of here. That was really it. But
survival is the smartest thing, but I like to go for glory.
I
mean, you might as well. I mean,
I get it. I mean, but she did. Well, I guess like she did that chakra fist stuff when she was like in that weird state where she could easily like deflect a full power Jinchuriki's chakra arms in Sasuke's Susanoo. So does show how strong I mean, like Nikki said, she ain't out here doing like fireball jutsu. But since she has all this stuff, she can absorb. That's the thing too. If you get touched by her, she can absorb your chakra.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to survive, man.
Was she showed doing that? I know the other Tsuki could, but I couldn't remember if she actually absorbed.
When she touched Naruto and Sasuke's faces, like the black Zetsu started coming out, and that's when Naruto made the comment, Sasuke, like she's taking our chakra.
Yeah.
And then it was never explained how the fuck Naruto like broke it off. Like I still don't understand how that happened. I just watched it before we got on here, and I'm like,
I completely.
How did he do that? Like they were frozen solid. Like, is it just willpower that he was able to like cut them off, or was it like something actually like tangible? I don't know. So she can. Man. We saw her do it.
It was plot, but I do like everyone's teams that we've mentioned. There's some plus and minuses for everyone's team. Obviously, it'd be a lot better if we had the others who are not allowed on, but.
And that's exactly why they're not allowed.
And that's exactly why they're not allowed. Oh, that was really it.
I got a question. Of all the people you couldn't pick, who is the one person you would pick? If you could only pick one of the banned people.
Oh, so like you get a limited, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Limited, you get one.
Yeah, you could bring one in onto your team. Who would be the forbidden person? Is it Ten Tails Madara, Full Sage Mode Hashirama, Sage Mode Six Pass Naruto Sasuke, Double Mangekyo Kakashi?
Well, from a personal standpoint, that's who I would have. But I'm trying to. Are we putting like personalities? Like, because I was not prepared for this question. Are we also
either?
Are we thinking of like teamwork and all that too, or everyone knows they got to get in line?
I feel like at this point, everybody just knows they've got to get in line.
Right. It's the fate of all of humanity. Like
Madara doesn't care. That's why he got stabbed in the back by Zetsu. I don't know. Oh.
My knee jerk is to go Hashirama, but then I don't know. Kakashi sounds like a good option too. I just
can't pick him because that's who I would have picked. I'm trying to expand my horizons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. His chakra always nags at me because everybody always talking about how he like doesn't have a lot of chakra. He doesn't have a lot of chakra. He doesn't have so like that always every time I want to pick him, I'm like, ooh, but can he like really last that long? But every time we see him in a fight, he never actually loses chakra, even though it lasts for frickin' ever. So I'm like,
once it got to the war, that point was gone. They were he was just spamming shit. Then he got a little power from Kurama. Then the dude was fighting like I almost want to go the first just because I'm just thinking of random stuff. Like since he could control like tail beasts by just touching them and putting that little wood symbol, like slight off chance if everyone gives him like their chakra, like the spirit bomb, if he touches Kaguya's head, can he like rip out those tail beasts? Just on some random stuff. I mean, we got Kabuto out here giving Sage Mode powering up too. But I feel like Madara. I mean, I feel like I'd take Kakashi, but I like first. I ain't taking Sasuke. He wouldn't fall in line.
I'm thinking of my team. It's like if I pick Madara, he's got to replace Obito because I'm just thinking of who they would replace on the team. Hashirama. Realistically, I could pick Hashirama to replace Guy.
Right, that was my thought too. It was like, yeah, that's where it's going out. Honestly, I could replace Garo with somebody else as well, but that's different.
Outside looking in, I'd replace Raikage with his dad because I know he can make the full hour.
Yeah,
that's someone I thought of.
One.
That's a good question. That was a good question, Nikki. That was really good.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any random things? Because we're actually done.
So we should make the overall team. Just the 4 people. We decided on what the 4 people would be that you would realistically take out there. Because you brought up good points with Guy, and it's like, damn, that's true.
I know. So, like, out of all the teams that we've mentioned, everyone had Itachi either on their bench or starting. It's like, and then I think everyone had Pain either on their bench or starting. But Nikki,
I didn't have him at all, but he's a good pick. I will not deny that.
But you guys had made the point about Obito, like, why do I need Pain if I have him? But his eyes. Still the most disrespectful scene in Naruto ever.
Yo, I couldn't believe it when he pulled up to the deathbed. And he said, I actually just rewatched it on Twitter like a day ago.
Oh, I had to screenshot it. Just like dude was really in his little cave. Like, time to go get the Rinnegan back.
Yeah, he said that. I was like, excuse me.
And then he said, those are my eyes to begin with. I was like, all right, I gotta go. That's so rude.
Obito should be able to do that too.
But so let's say like a 6. So like 6. So Obito. I mean, Tsunade was picked almost by everyone.
Yep.
So
yeah, I feel like she's got to be on there.
So Obito, Tsunade, Itachi. I guess Nagato was like outside looking in. Kabuto and Guy, I think we're all picked by almost in some way, shape, or form outside looking in. So I think that would be the podcast as 6. Like if someone's getting their ass whooped, you can do literally the ref substitution, sub somebody in.
Yeah, true.
So, that's a good one. But anything else? Well, shoot, we are at the end of the podcast. Thank y'all for doing this. This was actually very, very tough with the restrictions and all of that jazz. So I appreciate that. Next month, since next month is May, actually, instead of a fight, because with doing the My Hero one with Andrea, like diverting to some certain things, for May, if you could change 2 things, any fight, whatever situation in the Naruto story, what would you change? That's for May. And you get to make it the way you want it to make it.
Okay.
And you have part 1, part 2. If you would have changed, like, oh, I didn't want so-and-so to die, or I wanted this ending to be it, or this situation, you get to rewrite Naruto 2 things.
Okay. All right.
From that, we'll go Nikki and then Andrea, give your last things and we'll close this out.
You first, Nikki.
All right, man. Thank y'all for listening. Follow us, like, subscribe, and especially comment. I want to hear your team of 4.
More in the
Let
comments,
us know
y'all.
in the comments. Are you rocking with one of our teams? You got your own combo of 4? Let us know. Shoot, let us know if one of our teams sucks. I'm here for the chat.
That'd be mine.
Interact
Let
with
me know, y'all. I know it was bad. You just want that interaction, you guys. We want a little bit of feedback to see how you're feeling about what we put out there. But yeah, everything that Nikki said, we really appreciate y'all taking the time out of your day to listen to the things we say and we think about. And yeah, we just really appreciate y'all.
The only thing I have left to add is obviously thanking Nikki and Andrea for being on, thanking Cedric and Byron for sending their list from the L7C, even though it was a couple of days ago. Happy belated birthday, because at the time of recording, to our captain Byron, turning 32. So
32.
Happy birthday to him. Hopefully you enjoyed his weekend. And yeah, for the people listening out there, like they said in the comments, and think about 2 things you would change in Naruto. Again, it could be anything. You can change who ends up with who couples wise if you wanted to. You can change if a person died or how the story started or ended. Anything. So think of those 2 things, and that will be for May. And with that being said, this is the L7C signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.